So I wanted to do a quick video here of generating scoreboards for overlay scoreboards for OBS. Like if you're doing a high school basketball game and you have a video camera and you want to put a scoreboard on there, this is the way to do it. So if you Google it, you'll find a lot of results. A lot of them are paid services on the web where you subscribe to a service and then you can design your scoreboard overlay from there. Whole slew of paid services. They sell customization. They look great. Then there's one particular scoreboard overlay that's free. A gentleman created one that's a plugin you can download and install in OBS, and it's an awesome scoreboard overlay. But in order to tweak that, you need to really get into the HTML code, and you have to. It's a little nerdy to modify his scoreboard. So anyway, I encourage you to look at that. It's great. I wanted to be a little more flexible with designing it, and I really didn't want to pay for a paid service. So I'm learning about AI, and I use this as a use case where I try to get AI to build me an app, which then lets me use AI to generate a scoreboard. And this is what it came up with. Right now it's a completely free service. I don't warrant anything. You can try it. There might be some things in this code, in this UI, that talk about, upgrades and paid service. I haven't done that yet. So this is really just kind of a hack. The URL, I didn't even pay for a domain name. So the URL is some cryptic thing out of Google Cloud. So I'll put the link to the app in the comment section. So if you go to this URL, pretend it's a nice, pretty, fancy domain name, but it's not. US West 1 Run app, that's the domain name for it, but you'll get into here. If you start designing, this is the default scoreboard that it loads with. Basic, very basic scoreboard. A couple things we want to focus on here. There's two kinds of layers of design. What we're looking at now and what we're doing right now is designing kind of the structure and the placement of the scoreboard. When you deploy it to OBS, you're going to have some features that you can customize within OBS, like home team and away team names. So in the controller within OBS, you'll be able to set, Eagles versus Cardinals or Bears versus Tigers. But in the structure layer at this point, these are just placeholders. Okay, so just keep in mind that two levels of design, and you'll figure this out as you go along. This view here is a preview of what the scoreboard looks like, and dot controller, this is a preview of what it'll look like when you're actually using it in OBS. Okay, so here's the live team setup. Here's where you can change the names and the colors of the teams. So this is what the dot will look like. So let's go back to stream overlay. The way we're going to tweak this is conversationally using AI. So it gives you some little hints here, like what team are you designing for? So let's just say we're going to use a basketball theme. That will pick like quarters, the timer will be preset for basketball and things like that. Oh boy, that did a terrible job with colors, but we'll figure that out. Because we're doing a basketball theme, we told it we're doing basketball. You can say generate a backdrop. This is just in the designer mode, and it'll just help you see what it'll look like. Let's see what kind of all right, so it generated that. So we definitely want to fix this thing here. Another thing is suggesting, where do you want it? Let's put it bottom center. Move it down there. We'll see what that does. Okay, that's good. Let's see, modern dark mode. Oh, so here it's giving us some suggestions on the color. Modern dark mode. Let's see what modern dark mode looks like. Okay, that's a little bit less terrible. Let's see what we're going to do. Make the scoreboard shorter and wider to reduce the overall height. Let's see what that does. Okay, so it did, spread it out, make it a little less, take up less space. So let's say you use AI and you tweak it to be the way that you want it. Now we want to deploy it. So how do we deploy it? I'm not using paid services right now, or a paid service. This is all free. But if you want to buy me a coffee, that'd be awesome. So if you click this button here, I'm not exactly sure how I'll word this in the future. These might look a little bit different by the time we do the demo. But if you say deploy it, it's going to give you instructions for how to deploy it into OBS. So I am going to switch my display to my... So here we are in OBS. I just used a YouTube video as my primary feed. In here you would use your IP camera or your webcam or whatever. This is just, I'm displaying a YouTube video of basketball just as a sample. Now we want to install the dock for the scoreboard overlay that we generated in the tool. So after we hit deploy, or whatever that button was in the designer, it's got instructions. Go to Docs, Custom Browser Docs. So go to Docs, Custom Browser Docs. It says put a name in here. It suggests in the instructions scoreboard, but this can be anything. Scoreboard. And then URL. So we want to grab the URL for the controller that's in the deployment instructions. All right. And then we say apply. It brings up our dock. Now it brings it up in this separate window, but if you want to dock it, you just drag it up here and dock it. And I'll move this over so we can see it. So this is the dock that we built. And what you need to do is you need to add an extra browser overlay, because it's going to serve the scoreboard overlay as a browser overlay, but we need to get that in. You can either add a browser overlay and use the second URL that's in the help screen, or it can make it easier here. It says drag into the scenes to add a scoreboard. All right, so we're just going to drag that in here. You have dragged a URL into OBS. This will automatically add the link. So yes. So that puts the scoreboard on here. Now we can mess with the sizing a little bit. I had to check what my dimensions are, but I'm going to make it bigger here just by doing this. This is a bit of a hack. It might work better. By the time you try it. I'm constantly tweaking it. But now we have our scoreboard here, and it's the same design that we built. Let's see. Let's wait for this to. I had this on loop. Come on, loop YouTube. Okay, YouTube just looped. So now we have our scoreboard on there. And the way you use the dock, you can do your team setup. We can make this Eagle. We'll do birds. Eagles versus Cardinals. Eagles versus the Cardinals. I don't even know if I spelt that right. We can do, it's 12 minutes right now. We can make this 10. We can make it the timer 10 minutes. So now we have a 10-minute timer. We have our colors. We can make the Eagles green. Make the Eagles green. And we can make the Cardinals a more bright red. Okay. Now we can collapse this so you can see the changes we made on the team name. It was set to basketball. So our quick increments here, you make a 2-point bucket. This team makes a 3-point bucket, and then you can change it. So anyway, that is how it works. Quick technical discussion on this. So the way I had the system build the overlay right now is that it's completely local in your OBS browser. It's not relying on any internet services to do this, to generate the scoreboards. But you'll see sometimes in YouTube videos where they say, "Oh, we have an app, a website on your app that you can use to do it," and that's true. But I believe that in order to do that, it's going to require connectivity to the server. I'll investigate that a little bit more, but I think it's a pick what's important to you. If you want it to be completely standalone, then you can't have that dynamic scoring. If you want it localized, you can only update it here in OBS. So we'll learn more about that. But this is the early stages. I'm tweaking it. Thought I'd share it with you guys. If you find it useful, let me know. Chat in the comments and let me know your experiences with it. All right. Thank you.